Heyo everybody, Haku here with a quick review for Tower of God chapter 458, or season 3 episode 41. So I'm catching up on all these reviews. I'll probably keep them kinda somewhat brief. I'm still gonna talk in detail about everything, but I don't really need to I don't know, go too deep into recapping everything as much since this isn't really very current anymore. But yeah, there's a lot I want to talk about with a lot of these chapters. I'm going to be trying to do, as I'm recording here today, 458 and 459. Now these two, I've got a little bit less to say about each of them, but still a lot. It's when we get into some of these future chapters that are coming after these two, they're so good that I might have to do some pretty long reviews because there's a lot of content and it's really, really good. I really liked this arc at this wall, what is it, the wall with the forget-me-not? So good. So yeah, let's talk about chapter 458 for a little bit. So, starting off at the beginning, we're at the point where Khane is making the decision to save Dawan, to say, screw you guys trying to execute me, I'm gonna work with Calavan, I'm gonna save Dawan. So she actually fights back, and she's pretty strong. Which should make sense. She is a ranker and everything. But Khane is pretty strong. She fights back. And in order to stop Calavan, we see Sowo trying to make a deal with Coer. And of course, now that we have some future sight going on, having read like 10 chapters past this, we know that that doesn't work out that well. But she tries to work with Coer. And because of this, also Delete allies himself with Bomkun and Rak. Again, allies in strong quotations there. But Delete and Tonki are both mentioned to be the strongest guards. Delete's family in specific has guarded the wall for generations, and Tonki has been there for like forever. He's been there since just after Dawan was sealed. But we get back to Calavan, and he avoids killing some of the guards in some of the most meat-headed way, because Kane's still sort of like, I don't want to just murder these people that are guarding the place, even though they're terrible. So we should try to get away with the least amount of life lost. And Calavan's like, okay, let me just flex my power, just absolutely murder, it would seem, some of these guys, and then the rest will be like, oh shit, there's no way we can fight this guy, and that's the best way to prevent the most of them from dying, is to just make them too scared of coming near me. Then we get a call in from Hatsu to Bomb's group, finding out that he got a sword, and I love that he's like, oh, don't kill the guards? Well, that's a little bit too late, and White is just slaughtering the guards, and it's so cool. I love White. He's probably my favorite character, or at least up there. I don't know why I'm cheering him on murdering these people, but the guards were kind of assholes, most of them at least, except for Delete and Tonki, and you could still kind of argue Delete was a bit of a prick, but I didn't mind him. But either way, moving on from there, Bomb tells Delete about Calavan, which prompts the turn. We get the turn from Coer and Delete already. The plan was for them to figure out what was going on with the intruder, and if the intruder was too strong for them to handle, just turn on Bomb's group and help the intruder. Because to Delete, Coer is kind of being self-serving, but to Delete at least, what he wants to protect isn't the hero. He doesn't really care about that. The hero can die, the hero can be unsealed. What Delete wants to protect is peace. So to him, there's no way he could beat Calavan. And so, his solution, since there's no way that he could beat Calavan, is to just say, okay, do what you want. We need to keep the peace. That is the best way that he thinks to protect the peace. Then we have Tonki being confronted by Khane and Calavan. And Tonki's a character I actually really like a lot. But Tonki mentions that he's actually kind of glad to be relieved of this duty. He's been guarding this hero for so long without any memories of them, or even why they're guarding them to begin with. But he decided that even though he doesn't have any personal memories to connect him anymore, he wanted to stay here because he saw how much Khane cared, how much Khane kept coming back to visit her sister, and if somebody's memories of that person made them keep coming back after all this time, they were that strong, he really respected that and wanted to sort of know and feel what kind of person that was that he had forgotten. So he decided to stay there and guard Dewan as long as Khane kept visiting. So now that she's decided to go back on her promise and release Dewan, he's like, finally, I am released from this. And I like too that Calavan mentions that he can relate to Tonki's situation. I love that callback, because Calavan was basically the same way when he was protecting the essence of bravery before Ha Jinsung changed his perspective on things. So again, I love that callback. I really liked that. But yeah, that was the chapter in a general rundown. I actually really loved it. Some blog info that I think is cool is that Siu mentioned that swordsmen in the tower are a very rare thing, so White and Hatsu having this connection is really important, because it's really significant to them for there to be two swordsmen now to have a connection with each other. And he also mentions that even BOMs group are underdogs compared to a ranker, but the thing is that there are power levels among rankers. I mean, there are going to be some rankers that are weaker than others, some that are stronger than others. That, I think, should have seemed relatively obvious so far. So I like that. BOMs group is an underdog, but again, there are differences between this just ultra-powerful ranker and a ranker that's kind of not as great. Now, he also mentions that Hatsu has an opposite personality to White, but he deeply respects White's abilities. And also mentions that White is one of the strongest swordsmen in the entire tower. Of course, we need for him to be like one of the strongest swordsmen in the tower, because he's got to go up against Hon eventually, you would think, storyline-wise. And the last thing he mentioned in the blog that was interesting is that some of the things that happened in this chapter were reorganized and happened in a different order than in the preview chapters. They went back and sort of rearranged them a bit. Also, there was a mention of a physical copy, and geez, I really hope that comes out in English eventually. Maybe the anime will just blow the series up, make it even, I mean, it's already mega popular, but even more popular to where I could get a physical copy. I would love a physical copy of Tower of God, even though it seems really unnecessary, and the way it fits on pages would kind of be weird because of the way that, you read a webtoon, and the aspect ratio is a bit different. So yeah, I don't know how it would actually look in physical format, but I still kind of want it, I would still enjoy it. But yeah, some general thoughts. There wasn't any wasted time in this chapter. They really there was always something happening, and you can generally say that a lot with Tower of God. There's just tons of content per chapter. But this one, I remember there being, I read through it and I was like, wow, they really didn't waste any panel space with this one. Also, I really want to say that I really like the arc characters for this arc. I liked Delete a lot more than I thought I would at first. I think they developed into a character that I can enjoy their arc and the journey and change that they went throughout the course of this arc. I came to like Delete a bit, and I really liked Tonki. I don't know what it is about him, but I just enjoyed his story. Plus the new characters getting introduced to. Khane was a really cool art character that I kind of would hope would show up again, but I don't really think she is, not anytime soon. And I like Dewan. But we will move on, because Dewan's not even awake yet. And next up, I'll do a video for the next chapter. So I'm going to do these two videos separately, so you'll probably see that one posted maybe the day after this one. I might just give it a day's wait. I don't know. Either way, giving this one an 8 out of 10. I really liked it. So thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that. Gonna keep this short. Follow on Twitter if you want. I can try to keep you updated or talk to you there, though I usually do updates now on the community tab here on YouTube. But if you would like to help support the channel on Patreon, it's patreon.com/Haku of the Tubes, or a link will be in the description. And if you want to join the Discord server, it's free and open for anyone. All you've got to do is ask and I can give you a link. That's it. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.